Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Karen Crozier-Phillips. The news is live at noon. Topping the news at this time, a 26-year-old man was shot dead in Curepe last night. According to reports, residents of Farm Road heard explosions at around 8:30 p.m. When they checked, they found Jamal Anthony Murray lying motionless on the roadway close to his home. He was pronounced dead at the scene of the shooting. Police are still deciphering the motive for the killing, as while Murray was known to them, they were petty offenses. One man is dead after an accident in Moruga on Tuesday night. At around 7:30 p.m., a Honda Civic driven by 27-year-old Nicholas Suknanan skidded off Douglas Trace in St. Mary's Village and crashed into the pillars of a house. Suknanan, who was said to be on his way to a wake in the area, died at the scene of the crash as he was flung into the windscreen. A Coast Guard officer was shot in Santa Cruz on Tuesday evening. According to reports, Andrew Daniel was in Lacano when at around 1 a.m. a gunman approached him unannounced to hold up. 30-year-old Daniel, who is from Edinburgh 500 Chaguanas, attempted to flee and he was shot in the back. He drove off in his car to safety before getting disoriented. He is currently warded at hospital in a serious condition. Further news now, franchise holder Jenny Douglas is remaining mum as to who exactly will be representing Trinidad and Tobago at the 2017 Miss Universe competition. On Tuesday, the pageant organizer said Yvonne Clark had violated her contract's non-disclosure agreement, which prevented her from speaking about the pageant. Speaking to reporter Marie Hull via telephone interview, the franchise holder declined to comment.
I have to let you go, but thank you for the phone call. Okay.
The raise in taxes for the commercial banking sector will impact their business in a significant way. Banker Association President Anya Schnur says the lack of consultation with them will have negative consequences.
So I think for all banks, the effect is going to be, unfortunately, things like making decisions about where do we open a new branch? Do we expand the services that we offer? Do we continue to invest in technology? Making choices, which at this point in time when Trinidad is trying to become the financial center of the Caribbean, is unfortunate. I think when you look at the tax rate now being placed on commercial banks in Trinidad.
She says the country will have the second highest tax rate in the Caribbean after Guyana. This, she said, makes Trinidad and Tobago uncompetitive.
But it's unfortunate that we don't kind of mirror short-term strategies with our long-term goals. And our long-term goal was to become the financial center of the Caribbean. I think that diversification goal is going to be very difficult to achieve with this new tax policy.
Taxes come at a point when two other significant changes are coming from the central bank in 2018. Vice President Nigel Batiste says this adds to the uncertainty in the sector.
At a very delicate time for the banking sector as well, because in 2018, we are going to see the introduction of new capital adequacy requirements by the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago, and we are also going to see the introduction of new accounting standards, which have implications for the banks in terms of how they are able to be flexible with clients when it comes to the credit portfolio. So, it's three issues that have sort of come together at one time.
The BAT executives say they are not certain how all this will play out, but they say they remain confident that their standing as a strong sector will not be badly affected. This is the CNews Live report at noon. Remember, you can keep up to date with all the latest news on our website at ctvtt.com, or you can check out our Facebook and Twitter pages at CNews Live. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley today addressed the launch of the East Lake Residential Community Park. The housing development is expected to deliver 1,200 homes at South Tumpuna Road, Arima. Speaking at the event, the Prime Minister said he would like to see other private companies embark on similar projects to increase the available housing stock. He explained that he would chair a committee of agencies responsible for granting construction approvals to ensure that projects are not stalled. This task force will also ensure that state agencies do not become an impediment to private developers who are interested in constructing houses. Minister of Housing Randall Mitchell also spoke at the event. He said 174,000 persons in lower middle income brackets are in need of housing. He said we have approximately 20,000 applicants interested in living in the East-West corridor who qualify to make purchases ranging from $750,000 to $1.5 million. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of Trinidad and Tobago, ICAT, is working to inspire business owners to find a way out of the present economic challenges. Stacey Ann Golding, the president of ICAT, says that this year's theme is meant to stimulate thoughts on bringing an upturn to the country's prosperity.
So the first part of it, driving the upturn, is all about a challenge to our membership to say, hey, come, we're going to be covering a number of topics, and I hope you will have some epiphanies for which you can then take to your various organizations and actually be the engine of change and create the opportunities for sustainability.
ICAT is aspiring after long-term wealth in order to go beyond the temporary and transitory gains which come from short-term planning. She says that stimulation of the economy, a key goal of the program, requires two things.
I believe that when you engage persons who have done it, when you engage persons who have been there, done that, for example, as when you look on our conference agenda and the persons who are our presenters, these are persons who are tried and true, who have been through ups and downs in the corporate world and have perspectives to share. But that's one. The next thing is the part that I know many people have the challenge with, is the doing.
Ms. Golding says that this will come from putting into action words of wisdom from experienced business people who have been through and conquered economic downturns. She says the conference on November 9th and 20th at the Hyatt Conference Center should not be missed by those who want to get a roadmap for their businesses to negotiate their way to long-term prosperity. Well, it's time for the weather now. For the period this afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago will see generally sunny conditions despite a few brief showers. There is the low chance of a heavy afternoon shower favoring western and hilly areas of Trinidad. Mostly clear night despite the odd shower. Seas are expected to be normal with waves up to 1.5 meters to 2 meters in open waters and near 1 meter occasionally choppy in sheltered areas. The Ministry of Social Development has said the food card service will soon be restructured. As the ministry says, the program has strayed from its original mandate. The Targeted Conditional Cash Transfer Program, the official name of the service, is used by some 30,000 citizens according to the ministry. Acting Permanent Secretary in the ministry, Natasha Barrow, says the current state of affairs fails to empower applicants and has encouraged dependency. She was speaking during a joint select committee of Parliament this morning.
It was designed to address food insecurity via cash transfer, while at the same time facilitating rehabilitative and developmental activities by ensuring that recipients are also afforded the skills training, referrals and assistance needed to find employment as a prerequisite or condition of receiving that cash transfer.
In early October, during the debate of the 2018 budget, Minister of Social Development Sherry-Ann Critchlow-Coburn said the new system would be implemented in the first quarter of 2018 and would allow only true eligible persons to access it. 3 people are assisting the Tobago Police with investigations into the death of Dave Vincent. The 56-year-old man from San Fernando was found with bullet wounds about the body on the Bucco Golden Grove Road in Tobago on Wednesday. It was Tobago's 9th murder for the year. The information was announced by Acting Senior Superintendent of Police Tobago, Joanne Archie, at a police media briefing in Tobago a short while ago. National senior men's football coach Dennis Lawrence has called up a 23-man squad for 2 friendly internationals on November 11th and 14th at the Atto Bolden Stadium. Lawrence's squad will be looking to build on its performance, which ended the United States' World Cup qualifying campaign when they come up against Grenada and Guyana. Coach Lawrence said of the friendlies, their mission begin with the Caribbean and they will take it step by step from there. The squad includes familiar faces of recent times with Kevin Molino, Alvin Jones and Levi Garcia, while there are recalls for Aubrey David and Jamal Boatswain. And in the Secondary Schools Football League, there were wins for fourth-placed Shiva Boys over St. Mary's College 1-0 and St. Augustine over Trinity Mocha 2-1. In another encounter, it was the visitors from Fatima College who got by Trinity College East in another make-up game played in Trin City on a tricky ground caused by heavy rains in recent weeks.
This one heated up early with both teams getting chances as the condition proves difficult at times. Fatima answered and came close here, but credit the keeper and the defense for keeping them out on both occasions. Again, the Mokrapa Road outfit flirted with the opener, but again the keeper stood his ground. Still, Fatima was leaking chances at the back, and Trinity's own finishing let them down. That would be a grave concern for Coach Mike Grayson, who wasn't happy. And his fears would be realized as Fatima took the lead with this neat finish by Luke Buku, who picked his spot well in the 43rd to give Fatima the half-time advantage. But Trinity would respond in the second half, and this determined solo effort by Zachary Welch is rewarded as his stab at goal rolls in for the equalizer in the 72nd. Their fans loved it as they were back in the hunt. They came close again, only the deflection robbed them of the chance. The home team was humming now and came close again as the bad hop skips the keeper, but the rebound eludes Welch, who was following up. Then, slightly against the run of play, Fatima scored when this innocuous shot at goal by Mikelor takes a wicked hop and it jumps over the keeper for the go-ahead goal in the 78th minute for 2-1 now Fatima. Now they try to extend their lead, but they couldn't get by on this occasion. Trinity also came close at the other end as the ball stood up for the unrushing attacker and the defenders to converge, leaving a pile of bodies on the ground, including the attacker and the keeper, prompting calls for a penalty which was waved off by the referee. Fatima came close again moments later, but the brilliance of the keeper denies them yet again. And Trinity would throw everyone forward in a desperate attempt at an equalizer, but the backheader bounces wide of the mark and Fatima celebrates the 2-1 win and are firmly in 6th place with 22 points, while Trinity remains 7th on 18 points, also from 13 matches.
Well, that's it for sport. Well, that's the CNews report at noon. I'm Karen Kozier-Phillip. Remember, for up-to-date and breaking news throughout the day, you can visit the CNews website at ctvtt.com. Do have a good afternoon.